Hi, I'm Rohan Poddar. I'm a documentary storyteller to social impact brands. In the last episode, I talked about how documentary style storytelling can be a big differentiator for your social impact brand. If you have not seen it, you can see it by clicking on a link in the description below. In this episode, I want to talk about the 5 steps you need to take to get started on a storytelling exercise within your organization. As a founder and a leader of your social impact organization, you spend the bulk of your time planning and executing several initiatives like launching a product or service, opening operations in a new geography, enrolling strategic partners. Storytelling, like any of these initiatives, requires well thought out planning and execution. So, here are the 5 things you need to plan for before you start telling stories. Let's look at each of them. Identifying stories to tell. You may be thinking, what kind of stories should I tell? And where do I find these stories? Well, stories are everywhere. They are within your organization. They can come from you and your leadership team, your managers, or your field staff. Stories can come from outside the organization. Just speak to your target beneficiaries or end users of your product or service. Stories can come from your strategic partners. There are 4 major types of stories to be told. First, impact stories. They are centered around a positive change in the lives of your target beneficiaries. Cause stories. They define a specific socio-economic problem and how you are responding to that problem. Third, product stories. They show the benefit of your innovation, which is your product or your service, to its end users. Fourth, personal stories. They talk about the personal trials and tribulations of leaders within your organization. Determining the format for telling your stories. Primarily, there are 3 major formats of telling your stories. First are the short documentary films. They are the most effective medium of telling stories. They provide an excellent audiovisual perspective of the story as it unfolds. Second are the still images. They provide quick visual engagement for your brand audience by capturing certain moments. Third, blog articles. They help you articulate complex issues and express your personal views. Working out the budget for telling your stories. Budget for storytelling chiefly depends on 3 factors. First is the format of your stories. Short documentary films are the most expensive way of telling stories. Ideally, you should be telling only the most important stories through short films, whereas regularly updating your brand audience can happen through less expensive formats. Second is the frequency at which you tell your stories. You should be telling enough stories in a month or in a given period of time to keep your brand audience positively engaged. Third, whether the stories are made in-house or by specialists. Stories made in-house are comparatively less expensive, and the cost for these stories can be absorbed in your staff costs. Stories made by specialists are well crafted and provide a high quality experience to your brand audience. Planning outreach channels for your stories. Each story has a specific set of audience. Hence, it's very crucial for you to plan how your stories find their way to their audience. Social media is the most common channel to reach out to a general audience on a regular basis. Events are highly specialized channels for specific stories. For example, you could tell the impact story of your target beneficiaries in a boardroom or in a fundraiser event. You could tell a product story just before a product launch event. Setting expected outcomes of your stories. Generally, stories encourage a specific call to action from their target audience. This can be measured in terms of social media likes or comments, donations during a fundraiser, or that meeting with the desired investor. Primarily, there are 4 major objectives of storytelling. First, showing the positive impact of your organization's intervention. Second, creating awareness about your cause or your product. Third, raising funds. Fourth, attracting the right talent or partners. Hope you liked this session. Please share your feedback and your suggestions. Till next time, see you.